Ah, yes. Fucking back-to-back rants. What's going on, guys and gals? My name is Neko Fluttershy, and welcome to a video. I'm here with Mon because of course I am. Monica knows what's up. Anyways, in the last video I was talking about advertising on YouTube and how fucked up it is, and advertising as a whole is bullshit now, and blah 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 blah. But in that video I mentioned something about how YouTube needs to fix their platform because of all the spamming that's going on. Now here is my secondary rant of today. Spam. No one likes spam. No one. So why do you exist? And why is nothing being done about it? Alright, picture this. You're going on YouTube, you're making a video, you're uploading a video, right? Alright, cool. So you go on and you upload the video. 2 seconds later, after the video has been uploaded, you get a comment. Oh, wow! That was quick. But you go and you look at the comment in question. And it's a link to a porn site. Now, as if that wasn't fucking bad enough, there's also other times where it's got words. Oh, hey, sexy. Join my chat room, or something like that. Something where they're trying to get you to click the link. And sometimes it's a bunch of random letters and numbers being put together in some cases. Again, to make you want to click the ad, or the link. But do not click that link if you know what's good for you. And even if you don't, fucking just don't click the link anyway. That is bullshit. That is a spam and a scam. A scam spam. A spam full of scam. In other words, don't fucking do anything with it except report it to YouTube. Not like they're gonna do anything about it, as I will talk about later in this video. Not even engage. Don't reply back. Don't comment back. This is not one of the porn bots back in the early 2010s that used to run rampant on Xbox Live and PSN. I kind of miss those days. And honestly, it's spam as a whole, not really with just YouTube, but I'm going to be focusing a lot on YouTube. So, you know, you delete that, and you're like, damn. A fucking scam and a spam. A spam scam. Okay, you know what? I'll just upload the video again. Well, not upload it again. I mean, I'm not that crazy. You know, I'll just sit down, wait a little bit. Video's been uploaded anyway, so I got nothing else to do for today. So, you check back the next day, or maybe you're one of those people that, you know, are watching a video on your computer and you get a comment or a notification saying someone commented. Well, you check back and sure enough, there's a comment. But it's the exact same comment, but from a different channel, a different account. So, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Report and delete. Say it with me, kids. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Report and delete. There you go. If you can fucking follow that stupid shit, you can fucking follow anything. You dumb little shits on the internet. Yeah, I know you're a fucking 5-year-old watching this video. Maybe. I mean, I don't care how old you are. You're a dumb little shit if you don't follow directions that easily, and you do whatever you want anyway. I mean, I do whatever I want anyway, but I at least know how to get shit done. You know, I know what to do when I see these comments. So, yeah, basically, another scam, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So you do it again, rinse and repeat, report and delete. See, after you do that stupid shit, right, you go back to watch the video. Another notification 2 seconds later, a comment. Oh, fuck me, was it this time? So you go and you look at the comment, and sure enough, it's another spam from a different account. Now, this has been within the past 2 or 3 minutes, maybe half an hour, 3 to 4 spams. Trying to get people to go on their so-called porn website or their webcam show to steal their identity, steal their account, steal their wallet, steal everything from you. Basically, find out where you live, kidnap you, rape you, kill you, and hang your entrails on the ceiling for the police to find. While I'm sure that may not be entirely the case, the fact of the matter is you will at the very least have something stolen from you. Your account, you know, your YouTube channel maybe get hacked, which YouTube doesn't help people out if they get hacked. I'm just saying it right now. If you get hacked, tough testicles. You're pretty much fucked at that point, and you're better off making a new channel. But the same thing will happen no matter if you're a veteran of YouTube like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, Smosh, or you're a newcomer that just gave birth to their brand new 1 second later YouTube channel. And now you upload your first video to your channel. No views, no subs, you're just starting out. And you get a comment. Guess who it's from? A spammer! Yeah. So again, you rinse and repeat, report and delete. So after all this is said and done, you just say fuck it and you contact YouTube saying, hey, do something about all this. And it's not just porn bots that are trying to scam you out of your money, your credit card, which is kind of the same thing as your money really, and scam you out of pretty much everything. But these spammers have resorted to just creating about 1 billion different accounts in like 2 seconds, going to a random channel and commenting the same thing. So remember how a long time ago, maybe a year or 2 ago, or however long it's been, Jacksepticeye kept, basically Sean of the McLaughlins lost his father. He died. And basically a bunch of people on YouTube and Twitter were commenting, oh, I'm glad he's dead, he's rotting in hell, blah, blah, blah. Basically horrible fucking things. That should never be said to anybody. And, Sean's a good man. He does right by the community. He's got a loving and caring community. Basically, he does not condone this shit in any way, shape, or form. But you go to other people's channels, like Some Ordinary Gamers, or, maybe PewDiePie or Markiplier, and the same thing. You get all these comments. And it's really the comment section as a whole that's a problem. And, YouTube basically allows this shit to happen. Because YouTube does fucking nothing about it. I mean, how long have we been going on with the porn bots on YouTube? And the fishy, scammy links that they post? Yeah, several fucking years. We've been dealing with this for several years, and YouTube isn't doing anything about it. Google, as well. Not just YouTube, but Google, the ones who own YouTube, aren't doing a damn thing about it. Oh, but fear not. You know, we basically we added some things to our guidelines, and we changed the layout of how people view comments and upload videos, and we add all these unnecessary, you know, changes to our website, making it harder to find certain things, and blah 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 blah. You're focusing on the fucking wrong things here. This is a real problem. A real fucking issue. Because of all the scammers and spammers, these people that once interacted with their community by reading comments and reacting to comments and things like that. Like, you know how back in the day everybody used to do reading your comments? Well, they don't do that shit anymore. Why? Because of shit like this. And even if it wasn't a reading your comments thing, they don't bother reading the comments in the first place. Because of all of this. Basically, we're losing a bunch of interaction here from our audience because of all of this bullshit. And YouTube, again, isn't doing anything about it. Because they just don't care. YouTube doesn't care about their creators. They may say, oh, we do. We care about every single one of our content creators, and we try to strive and make it a safe place for everybody. You know, we filter comments, we do this and do that, we give you the option to do things, but it never works. You can tell that they're bullshitting. Because we've been having the same issues for years now. Fucking years. And no signs of them stopping. And by the way, somehow they found a way to make it look like they're monetized. Somehow, some way. They have, some of them have the whole verification icon. But when you go to their channel, they have no views, no subs, no... Basically, it's like a brand new channel, right? Or maybe they don't upload anything to the channel. Because they're using that fucking account to spam people. So, for example, I've seen a few where it actually says Mr. Beast, right? Like, verified and everything. But you go to the channel, and no subs, no views, no videos even. But they're trying to make it look like Mr. Beast, right? Or some other channel that makes it look like he's saying these things and is creating a bunch of accounts and spamming people with these things. Oh yeah, Mr. Beast says that Sean's father should die in hell. No he doesn't. And anybody that believes that is a bigger fucking idiot than I thought. I mean, we've already got enough problems in this country and this world with, you know, intelligence issues. You know, being scammed and spammed and falling for their old tricks. But, in essence, you know, sometimes you can't help it. I understand, you know, some people can't help the fact that they can get scammed and spammed. You know, some people aren't tech savvy, so they don't understand anything about technology, and so they're easier to fool. It's like those, you know, the phone calls that you would get either on your cell phone or your landline or whatever the case may be. Oh, hey, this is so-and-so, and you could tell that it's bullshit, some Indian guy. Oh, this is so-and-so from Microsoft. We're here to tell you about XYZ. Your computer has been infected with a virus, and you give us money, we'll fix it. Or the ever so classic, oh, this is so-and-so from Apple. Yeah, I can't really do a good Indian accent. I try, but I fail. Just like I fail at everything in life, because I'm nothing but a failure. Anyways, I digress. So it's kind of like these old scams that actually are still going on today, because it's a bunch of old people, the elderly, that don't know anything about scams. They don't know anything about technology, and so they see something, either they get called themselves, or they click on a link that makes it look like it's really from Microsoft. Oh, your computer's been infected, blah, 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 blah. Call this number to get it uninfected. The typical scam. So, old people, what they'll do, they will go onto that website and they'll contact them. They'll contact people, but of course it's just a scam call center and all that, and overall, even if it isn't the call center, it's still a scam. So it's kind of like that. And this is kind of the equivalent for people right now that know about technology. But even so, I really hate the fact that nothing is being done about it. And going back to what I was talking about with the scams that used to go on PSN and Xbox Live, I even made a few videos on this where I'm fucking with them. Oh! Hi, I met you, I found you through searching blah 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 blah, want to be friends? Okay. Sure. And then they'll go on to ask about, whatever. Oh, I'm, 3132F, female. Would you like to have a little bit of fun? Or something like that. Basically, they're trying to get you to click their link to a porn site. As I like to call them back in the day, porn bots. Now, I miss those guys. I'm gonna be real with you. I miss them. I miss them so much because at least you can fuck with them in various ways. You could just repeat back everything that they say and, have them block you because they think you're one of them. And they're like, oh, sorry, my bad, and then block you. Or you can say the most outrageous shit. How old are you? And you say you're basically 1 year old. Unable to do anything in life. A 1 year old is pretty much pathetic. So how they would be able to use technology is beyond me. Unless you give birth to a fucking AI baby, artificial intelligence child, that just understands everything about the world in 0.1 seconds. But that ain't happening anytime soon, as far as I can tell, with regular human people. But yeah, I'm 1 year old, and they start giving you the whole spiel about, oh, well, I was gonna host a webcam show and whatever, and XYZ, and here you go, here's a link. Get some VIPs and whatnot. Well, you click on the link out of curiosity, and one of two things will happen. One, nothing will happen, and it's a fake website, fake link. Or it's a real website, but it's sketchy as fuck. So unlike these bots of today, where they only scam, or they either scam or spam in certain ways, and they're not that fun to interact with in the first place, so just don't interact with them at all, because you don't get anything out of it. You don't get any interesting conversations. You don't get any, interesting reasonings behind why they do the things that they do. And, well, it's just a waste of time. Waste of your time, waste of their time. Unless you're dumb enough to actually fall for this shit. But in the case of the spammers, the ones that spam, not scam, but just regular everyday spammers that spam the same comment over and over again, that you could tell they're still bots. And things like that. same ordeal. They're not really interested to talk to, you know, and just do what any sane person should do. Say it with me now. Fuck. I forgot what my saying was. Something about report and delete. Oh yeah, rinse and repeat. Okay. Say it with me, kids. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Report and delete. And if you're not a kid watching it, still, fucking say it with me. Because it's important. It's important that we let YouTube know, not like they're gonna fucking do anything about it in the first place, because YouTube doesn't know how to take care of themselves or their audience. I mean, let's face it, we've been dealing with this shit for years now, and if YouTube is not willing to help us out, why should we bother, you know, telling YouTube about this? They're already aware of the issue, but they don't care. And so we always have these accounts and all these, you know, these throwaway accounts and things like that meant to spam people. I mean, it's like back in the day, there was a website, and going back to PlayStation, you know, back in the day, there used to be a website that basically what it would do, you would type in something and it would spam, you know, it would spam someone's PSN account with that message over and over again from like various different accounts that don't even exist or not real. Holy fuck. But yeah, you get the idea. So, I mean, at least that spam was kind of fun, because all it really did was spam people's accounts with, you know, the same message over and over again, and kind of just flooded their inbox. And that's all it really did. It didn't really do any harm. Maybe pissed off a few people, but it was worth it just to get some reactions out of people. It was all fun and games. But this, the whole, you know, spamming of just whatever the case, this whole issue of spamming, and definitely some hateful things like, you know, I'm glad Jacksepticeye's father is dead and rotting in hell, blah, 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 things like that. That's harmful. That's more harmful than you could possibly imagine. That if enough people, and they're doing it maliciously as well. They're not only doing it to spam the person and to make them give up on reading comments and interacting with fans, they're also doing it, like, if enough people do it, even if they know it's bots and it's all fake and a scam and a spam and whatnot, even if they know all that, you know, being, you know, reading and seeing that, you know, so many of the same comment saying the exact same thing over and over again about something that's very, you know, very important to you, very emotional and tragic to you. I mean, it is tragic to lose someone in the family, especially someone you grew up with and enjoyed talking to and have a lot of memories with. It's like me and my grandmother, and when she died, I didn't know what the fuck to do with my life. I still don't. You know, not without her. I mean, her guidance kind of was everything to me, you know? But without her, what do I have? But anyways, that's what I was saying. You know, it's kind of like that. And imagine if, like, someone was talking about how my grandmother hated me and shit like that. That would probably kill me. Even though I know it's all bullshit, because, you know, Nana cared more, you know, my grandmother, my Nana, she cared more for me than she cared about anybody else, I think. Like, holy shit. And she would be willing to fucking do anything for me. And I mean anything. You know, whenever there was a few things that, you know, she used to run the pear shop and whatnot around where I live, and sometimes she'd bring home toys and whatnot for me. One time she brought home a giant ass Saint Bernard toy, plush pooch, if you will. And I fucking love that dog. I love that plush. Still got it somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but I still have it. I have a toy Cavalier King Charles Spaniel plush that I called Noodles. I don't know why. I was obsessed with fucking noodles. I wanted to eat more noodles. I kind of just liked the way it sounded, because I was a fucking idiot kid back then. But you get what I mean. You know, when something that's really close to you, and people talk bad about it over and over again, it kind of just starts to, you know, get to you. It starts to... even though you know, again, that it's all fake and it's all bullshit, and they're only doing it because they're horrible people, and you shouldn't really be listening to half the shit they say anyway. I mean, sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you cannot help what you see and what you hear on a daily basis. You know, you can only do one of two things. Choose to ignore it, which becomes harder and harder as the harassment continues and the spam continues. Or react to it. Now, if you choose to react to it, it could be in one of two ways. Positively, by just being like, well, I mean, that's your opinion, but to me, first off, I don't believe in heaven or hell, so really that sentence doesn't make a bit of a difference to me at all. I don't. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in heaven or hell. I don't believe in any of that bullshit. You know, and, I mean, yeah, I do believe that my grandmother is somewhere. And she's watching over me somewhere. But all she really is like a pile of ash, because, you know, we got her cremated. And that's the way she wanted to go. You know, when she died, she wanted to be cremated and buried close to other relatives. And that's good. But we also ended up donating any used parts that were still good. Like her eyes or her brain, maybe, that could help someone else, her arms and legs, anything that could have been used to help other people, you know, she did. Because she was that kind of person that cared for people and cared for, you know, other people. And she was dead anyway, so I mean, it's not like it would have been much help, you know, as a corpse or anything like that, but yeah. But yeah, I don't really believe in any of that bullshit that is heaven or hell, God, or anything like that. But you know, to someone that may be religious, that might hurt them a hell of a lot more. And a lot more than it probably should. But you know, you could choose to react to it in a positive way by just being like, yeah, that's your opinion, whatever. Even though it's like a spam and they won't really reply back and they're just a throwaway account anyway, you could still comment and maybe they may see it. Be like, yeah, that's your opinion, whatever, I don't care. You know, if my grandmother were here right now, she'd tell you the exact same thing. Absolute bullshit. But, yeah, or you can choose to react to it in the most negative way possible by making a rant video about it. Doesn't sound like something I'd do. Nah, I'm just fucking around, but yeah, you know, you could choose to just react negatively as well and just, like, you know, take everything they say, because eventually enough times you say it or you hear it, you're going to believe it. You know, enough people, whether they be real people actually communicating or maybe a bot, you know, fake people like bots, if you hear or see something so many times, you start to believe it. I mean, not the whole that heaven and hell exists, but the fact that if hell does exist, that my grandmother is rotting in it. Or that Sean McLaughlin's father is as well. And I know this won't do any good, because these people are doing it maliciously, and they're doing it, there might have been a few people to commit suicide, or be severely depressed over this. And that also, I mean, that's another reason this has to fucking stop. You know, if these bot accounts won't stop existing, then YouTube has to fucking do something about it. Because it's fucking pissing me off that there exists a lot of people, or maybe one or two people, I'm not really sure how big of a group this is that's doing this, but I mean, it pisses me off that people that do this maliciously and purposefully, with basically the intent to harm people, whether it be emotionally or physically, by causing them to kill themselves or cut themselves or, you know, whatever. This needs to fucking stop. And I'm very tired of YouTubers that I, you know, grew up with watching. They don't reply, or not reply, but they don't even bother looking at my comments or whatever, because they're not looking at anybody's comments. And they're missing out on some good video ideas as well, to potentially bring in more fans and more subs and more views and whatever, because of this stupid, this whole bot thing. I mean, if it's a real person on the other end, and they're giving me a legitimate comment, yeah, I'll reply to it, you know, sometimes, if I actually care enough to do so. But if it's something like a bot, I'm like, nope, rinse and repeat, report and delete, because that's just the way it is. That's just the way it has to be. But I don't understand why it has to be that way. You know, you'd think that over time, YouTube would see this as a means to basically lose people. Not only lose people, but lose, you know, money. With each person that's monetized, that leaves the platform because of YouTube's bullshit, even if it is a few pennies, that's a few pennies that YouTube is not making, that Google is not making. Now, that may not seem like a lot, considering Google has several billions of dollars and YouTube is the same way. But, I mean, over time, more people leave, that's more money going down the drain. And just imagine if you lose the big dogs, you lose people like PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. That's basically getting rid of a lot of your money, because these top 3 people rack in millions of views per month. And lots of money per month, not just for them, but also for, you know, the company as well. And with enough people, Dan TDM, you know, some ordinary gamers, Optimus, I watch Optimus quite a bit. Basically all the YouTubers that I watch, all the big people, like Smosh, like old school Smosh, definitely. If Smosh just stopped uploading because of all this, and just never came back to YouTube because of how bad it is, YouTube would be in serious problems and serious trouble. And honestly, I could kind of see a lawsuit maybe happening because of this. See, when things like this happen, and people kill themselves because of this, or they harm themselves, or, you know, they shut down their channel and whatnot, I mean, if I were some of these content creators, I would sue YouTube because they're not doing anything about it, and YouTube doesn't care. But maybe by suing a company like Google or YouTube, mostly YouTube, since YouTube is the real problem here, even though Google owns YouTube and they could have stepped in and done something. You know, losing a lot of money for people like YouTube and Google, that would not be in their best interest, now would it? But they refuse to do anything about these spam comments and scam spams. And even if we do rinse and repeat, report and delete, they're not doing anything about it. They're not deleting the comments. We have to do that ourselves. They're not getting rid of the channels. They're not addressing the issue at all. And it's a fucking issue. It's a goddamn big issue. It's more bigger than most people think it would be. You know, a lot of people think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And people are making a way bigger deal out of it than it needs to be. No, I mean, I think it's a fucking humongous deal. Because it's only going to get worse and worse. You allow this shit to happen on the platform, and we're already having people say horrible things. But how long is it until we get even worse things than that? Like sending death threats, or linking people's IP addresses, or linking, or basically just, you know, telling people, hey, this content creator lives here, at this house, or this apartment building. You know, and basically, next thing you know, people like Sean, or Mark, or Felix, or anybody will have a bunch of crazy people show up at their doorstep. Because, oh, I get to meet Markiplier. I get to meet Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie. You see, there's a difference between meeting them just out in the street, or during a convention or something like that, or maybe in a Q&A video, or a live stream or whatever, just talking to them for a little bit, and just randomly showing up to their house. That's one quick way for them to not like you. Because they're gonna be like, who the fuck are you, and why the fuck are you in my house? How do you know where I live? How did you get this address? And then, yeah. Which then, that would definitely be lawsuit worthy. Because, yeah, you're allowing people to get doxxed. You're allowing people to, you know, have a bunch of crazy fans. And some people are so crazy that they're willing to kidnap and harm the content creator because, you know, of whatever. So this could very well also lead to YouTubers dying as well because of how crazy some fans are of these people. And, well, if that's the case, all of us are going to be pissed off because we won't get to enjoy another Jacksepticeye video, or another PewDiePie video, or another Smosh video, or whatever. And all we're going to have are the memories that they've made, and what we've made alongside them for many years. So really, in the grand scheme of things, this spam has got to stop. I hate scams. I fucking despise those things. I hate spam. I fucking hate just a lot of things that is on the internet because of all this bullshit. And let's be real here. Does anybody actually give a shit about what other people have to say that aren't that important? I mean, if you're telling someone go to hell, or that, you know, your father or mother or whatever is dying in hell, do you really care? Because you know it's all bullshit? Well, if you do, that's kind of a good thing, because it means you're concerned. And that means that you have to do something about it, because if YouTube isn't going to do it, someone has to. Someone needs to step in and do something about it. Because we can't keep having, you know, this happen. But anyways, guys and gals, that's it for this video. Yeah, I hate scams and spams. And I hate spams. But, yeah, if you see one of these spams, or just spam in general, or scam, or whatever the case may be, remember what I taught you in this video. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Report and delete. Because most likely some people have had to deal with this before in the past. So keep dealing with it until something happens. Until YouTube finally gets it through their thick assholes that maybe we should do something about this before it's too late. Yeah, you should have done something about it fucking years ago. And yet you never did. Well, I'm kind of glad you're doing something about it now, though. Better late than never. Because, I mean, YouTube is just bullshit. We don't need more bullshit on top of it. You know, we don't need people, you know, sending death threats. We don't need people harassing each other. We don't, I mean, I am an advocate for peace and harmony and kindness. You know, because I know what it's like to be harassed. I know what it's like to have death threats against me. I know what it's like to have people condemn me to hell multiple times just because of absolute garbage, like they don't like my content, or because they think they know shit but they don't know shit. So I know what it's like to have a few people hate me. I'm fine with that. I don't care. I mean, not everybody's gonna like you, but you know, with all these scamming and spamming going on, something has to give. Something has to happen. And if YouTube isn't going to do something about it, then we have to. You know, I personally think that what YouTube needs is new direction. And by new direction, I mean a new CEO. A person that actually knows things and gets shit done, to where we don't have to worry about scams and spams anymore. We don't have to worry about, you know, non-existent ad revenue. We don't have to worry about people getting fucked over constantly on the platform just because XYZ. And honestly, here's what I'm thinking. YouTube, I love your platform, even though it may seem like I don't. I really do, because, I mean, I get to watch whatever I want on this website, even porn. Sure, you know, porn doesn't really go well with your guidelines, but hey, I can still watch porn on here. In some cases, I can watch whatever I want on here, pretty much. And the freedom to basically be able to post whatever you want. You know, as long as it's not about rape, as long as you don't rape anybody in the video or have sex, although YouTube doesn't really seem to care, because again, there's porn on the internet here on YouTube's. But as long as you're not killing anybody in reality, or you're shooting racial slurs all over the damn place like a goddamn rocket launcher machine gun, then you should be fine. But I really hate what you're doing with the website. And I feel like some of our freedom is being taken away. I mean, for the longest time, we're supposedly not allowed to curse. We're not allowed to say fuck or ass or bitch or damn or cunt or anything like that. Otherwise, we'll get demonetized. Who cares? They're just words. Oh, but some little kid might watch it. Who the fuck cares about the little kids? Not me. Obviously, I don't care about anybody really when it comes to. And I'm a firm believer. And hell, if I ever do have kids, the very first word I am teaching my children, and I am not making this shit up. The very first word I'm teaching my kids how to say is fuck. That's the first word. No, seriously, I'm going to teach my kids the word fuck when they're old enough to speak. And even when they're not old enough to speak, I will get how to learn the words. Because I don't believe in censorship. And that's what it is. By saying that you shouldn't be saying these words with little kids, that's fucking censorship. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's fucking censoring you. You're saying, oh, well, little kids shouldn't be able to hear the word fuck. Yeah, well, shut the fuck up, you dumb little shit. Right? And I'll save that for another video. But as for now, this video is probably getting a little lengthy as is. So I believe it is about time to not do whatever the fuck it is I was doing before and just, yeah. But anyways, guys and gals, as always, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, people. And